Hey guys, it's Michael from Devo.com. Today I want to talk about getting high-paying photography clients. So I'm specifically talking about commercial product photography, not really talking about wedding or different types of photography genres that I don't do. It's really this niche of commercial product photography. All right, so right off the bat, make sure your portfolio is up to snuff. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it should match the industry that you want to work in. So for me, that's medical devices and anything related to manufacturing. What I recommend if you're just getting started and you want to get into a specific niche of commercial product photography is to find a company that has some products that are interesting, whether they're really small and detailed or they just have a lot of interesting features. Ask that company if you can take photos for them for either a very small amount or do it for free, and just ask them, hey, I want to boost up my portfolio and I'm wondering if I can take some photos for you. They may say yes, they may say no. Also make sure that you have some printed version of your portfolio. What I did when I started out was I just went to a company, I think it's called Peekaboo, and they had a deal where I think it was 12 by 12 book or something like that, where it was $35. And I included all my best work in there, and that's what I could bring to clients to show the type of work that I do for similar companies. And that really can set you apart rather than just meeting with people and not having anything to give them besides a business card. Another thing is to like and subscribe. Well, actually the next thing is to get leads. Now this can be a whole host of different things. This could be paying for leads, which I do not recommend. It has not been beneficial or successful for me at all. I think I spent over $2,200 and I got maybe 3 or 4 leads that were not even related to the industry that I wanted. It was just a complete waste of time. Trust me, don't do it. If you're in this niche of commercial product photography, at least for me, it didn't work. So get leads. How do you do that? You can reach out to marketing managers. This is what I do, actually. I reach out to marketing managers in companies that I want to work with, whether that's on LinkedIn or direct mail. That has been very successful for me. So I print out different variations of postcards and then I send those because they're inexpensive to mail. I'll handwrite them with a blank side and then one of my images on the other. I'll handwrite them, each one of them, and send them off to a potential client. I'll do that over and over. And not just once. I won't send just one piece of mail. Depending on their response, if there's absolutely no response after 2 or 3 mailings, typically that's a sign to me that they're not interested, because what I'm doing is very targeted, and if they're not interested, that'll be very clear after the 2nd or 3rd time. It's important to follow up. It leads me to my next point. My next point is follow up. You have to use a CRM, and this is kind of getting into the nitty gritty of business, but it's important. So what I do for a CRM is actually HubSpot. You probably heard of it. It's free up to, I don't know, a certain amount. And I use that to keep track of my tasks for each contact. So if I reach out to them on LinkedIn or send them a direct piece of mail, I'm keeping track of that on HubSpot so I can see the progress, their level of interest, what they say, what I emailed them or what I sent them on LinkedIn, what I even hand wrote on the card. It's all very detailed so I can keep track of that and see what's working and what's not. All right, my next point is learn as much as possible about your ideal client. You don't want to meet with someone and they start talking about their product in the industry that you want to photograph, and you have no idea what they're talking about. You really want to know their industry. For me, that's the medical device industry. That's everything surrounded around manufacturing. That is a big arena, but at least I can know something about it. It's very important that I know some things about it so that I can better serve my client and relate to their needs. That will allow me to get better imagery for them, and they'll see the value in that if you know what you're talking about when you meet with them. So you've sent direct mail, you've reached out on LinkedIn, and you've sent emails, you've done all these things, you continue to do it week after week, and you're not seeing results. Have patience. It's so important. So for example, in my experience, I had reached out to a potential client. I think it was a postcard. Maybe it was LinkedIn. I don't remember. But in any case, I had reached out. They said, thanks, appreciate it. We'll let you know when we have a need for your services. Great. Thanks for replying. And usually that's the end of it. Usually you don't really hear back, and that's kind of the end of it, even if you follow up. But in this case, there was a 5-month period from when I reached out to where they said, we have a project for you. And that project was fantastic. So it was important for me to be patient because it was 5 months. And it turned out to be a great client. So just keep on that path of reaching out and make connections. All right, relationships. Build relationships that will last. I know that sounds a little cliche, but it's important because if you don't have any connection with the person that you're going to work with in any form, then they're probably not going to want to work with you. So it's really important that you develop a relationship with them. And it's kind of a fine line when you're trying to reach out to people, not to be too friendly, but also to be relatable in some sense. So build relationships, and you have to keep in mind that those relationships take a while to develop, typically. It's all about timing. So when you reach out to a company initially, they may have a need for your services, just not right now. Your services may be valuable, your portfolio may be spot on, ready to go, they love it, but it's just not the right time. So that's why it's so important to follow up. Remember, timing may not be appropriate for every client, so just keep that in mind. Keep following up, and hopefully it leads to a paying client. Now here's the big one. Under promise, over deliver. And what that means is when you say you will deliver within a week, deliver within 4 days or 3 days, or just under promise and over deliver, that will do so much for your clients. You want your clients to not only work with you again, but also talk to other people about the work that you do and how it's helped their business, because that's what's most important. Your work should benefit their business. Your work should sell their product and create more sales for their company. The day of the shoot, to be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late. So be on time the day of the shoot, and your deliverables should be delivered early if possible. If you can't, just do it on time. And another thing is a bonus. Have a bonus for them, whether that's if the budget permits a print, maybe something they didn't ask for, something they didn't pay for. Have a print. A framed print may cost you $300 to do, but that could go a long way for that specific client. It depends. Kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Learn as much as you can about the client and their industry. So if they've hinted before that a print would be valuable, let's say in the entry of their building or something, then consider that as a bonus for them. Or maybe another digital image, a high-res image for their library of images would be beneficial. Maybe they have several products that they want you to shoot, but they didn't ask for a group photo, so you could do that. You could provide them a group photo that's unique, and that would probably impress them and provide more value to them. One of my final points is to have the right gear. And you notice how I kept that for the end. A lot of beginning photographers think gear is so important. It is more important than anything.
I have to have this camera
because I won't be able to produce the photos unless I have this camera or this new monitor or whatever. That's not the case. But you should have the right gear for that shoot. And one of the ways you can do that without investing initially in very expensive gear is to rent. You could go to, I'm not sponsored by them, but you could go to Borrow Lenses, you could go to Lens Rentals, you could even go to a local photo store and rent from them and get the gear that you need for that shoot. It's going to cost you a little bit, obviously, in rental investment, but you're not forking out that large amount to do that one shoot. And if you continue to do that, you can build up capital to get more gear that's better suited for the work that you do. So have the right gear, always make sure your gear is ready to go and your shoot will go better and those high paying clients will love you for it. All right, guys, in closing, I hope that's been helpful. This has been how to get high paying clients for photography work. See you guys next time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be, no. To be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late. Wow. To be on time is to be early, and to be no. To be early is to be on time. No. To be on time is to be early, and to be early is to be on time. No. How does that go, Rach? What? To be early is to be on time. Yes, okay. To be early is to be on time, and to be on time is to be late. All right.